Hello guys, this is Rio. Since I spent my St. Quartz and only got Suzuka Gozen and Chloe von Einsburn in a swimsuit, and I forgot to log in yesterday, so I'm not really proud of this. In fact, I can't even continue any further with less motivation from the 80 days that are a waste. 81 days. But at least I can actually just keep grinding off screen rather than on screen. So anyway, since I don't have a 5-star servant and my super ascension, which is only lasted a week, I'm going with the opportunity to choose only 5-star servant special summon.
特別召喚の部屋にようこそ。たった一度だけだが、特に優れた霊気を持つサーバントを君のもとに届けよう。足りていないクラスを補充するか、第一印象の直感を信じるか。どちらにせよ、よく考えて選んでくれ。長い付き合いになるだろうからね。
Well, Stonai is tempting for being a single target, but I can't. Plus, alter egos can only damage the 4 cavalries, berserkers, rider, caster, assassins. I don't think that I should have Jandark ruler just because it's an easy thing. Not Shangyu, Florence Nightingale who heals is tempting. I could just speedrun with Kupulin, but no. Jack the Ripper, but there are some female servants who aren't really berserkers or rider class, so that's a little hard. No for Anastasia. I mean, for the story locked servants is tempting. Not even Dio. I mean, for Queen Meb it's tempting. Our Toria Pendragon Lancer, which is story locked, which is great, but a few enemies are either sabers, berserkers, or a class that's a little hard. Not all of them are evil, and it's a little hard to win, so I'm gonna go with yes, Artoria Pendragon Saber. I choose you. Only one of the 32 servants can be summoned from the special summon for one 5-star SSR of your choice after completing Singularity F. Once summoned, you cannot change to a different servant. Even if you have a total of 6 copies or more of the same servants, the unregistered spirit origin will not be obtained unless the conditions are fulfilled. Yes.
まだ見ていくかい？
I could just borrow friends, this Artoria Pendragon, or save up mine for last, but I choose her.
とう、あなたが私のマスターか。
That's the same voice line when she met Emiyashiro back in Fate Stay Night when I watched it. It was 2017 before I started Fate Grand Order. Yes, about Special Ascension. As a new master, you have been granted the authority to perform a Special Servant Ascension. You may choose one servant to enhance to Final Ascension regardless of their current level, without expending materials or QP. Servants who have temporarily joined your party and servants who require unique Ascension materials are not eligible for Special Ascension. In other words, I cannot use on servants such as the Santas, the swimsuits that have to be cleared on summer events, or even the Guda ones. Special Ascension has a 90-day time limit. Please note that Special Ascension will disappear from the enhanced menu once the deadline has passed. And so far, 80 days. So I think now is the perfect time. Now. Special Ascension. You may only perform Special Ascension for one servant. You can enhance the selected servant to Final Ascension without expending items or QP. Perform Special Ascension.
さらに段階が上がったようです。
Alright. Now that's the fitting form for the King of Knights. Still not yet to the Ascend form, but it's great.
共に成長しましょう。
Well, imagine that Phoenix Feather, gold saber statues, and that, yeah, your shield. Ooh.
どうでしょうか。期待に応えられると良いのですが。 王としての姿は戻れど、私たちの誓いは変わりません。我が政権はあなたに預けます。さあ、行きましょう、マスター。
There we go. Her rank up quest has been unlocked, and 3 Saint Quartz.
仕上がりはどう？細かな変。
Unfortunately, even though Artorias' strengthening quest has nothing to do with, say, her noble phantasm, it could get a little stronger. However, I have to clear a certain singularity. Don't worry, once that comes, I can just skip it and just show you how serious I am. Alright, so I'm going to dive into Orlin, so hold on.
Henshin!
Alright, so now that I've already jumped into the first singularity and said Henshin! It's starting. Unfortunately, I don't have Artoria Lily like how most players require if they're still at the easiest singularity. Great. I don't see that craft essence, but I guess this will do. I know there are some who already give advice to say if you actually want your support servants of a friend to be used, make sure that they have the craft essence. If they don't place a craft essence, don't bother use them.
いやもう仕方ね
Unless it happens to be
え。一度ばかりぶった切るか。
Heracles' Max Spawn CE.
ステータス
I don't think
頑張ります。
anyone can actually get Heracles' Max Spawn CE in 30 days. It's gonna take like a year if they actually have, say,
心得出番
till
か。
the lunchtime.
はい。
遅いな。 承知。下がってな。
I'm surprised
遅いな。
how when we
悪いな。
or that we
ちくしょう、たぎっちまった。たまには戦に出てみるもんだ。
were French soldiers. Maybe some of them aren't just French soldiers. Maybe some of them turn into zombies or something. I mean, I did see a mixing of either Turarasrelta or Mortalistella. Some of those soldiers did not want to talk to us because maybe we're outsiders or, you know, like warlocks or witches who came from, what, outside of time that they don't understand? So, of course, I don't really blame them. They don't just welcome us unless someone can just explain that we are actually the good guys. Also, what's worse, if suddenly the enemy that you encounter are servants, don't bother use the 1 or 2 star servants.
私は会おうぞ。
They are, how you say, weak.
下がってな。出番か。
I mean, if I didn't
俺に
roll
やらね
at first, and I still have
え。
Kukulin and Medusa, that would probably make me unable to progress.
Kokshon.
But because I already have some
遅いな。
of the servants,
見せどころよな。
Kiyohime, David, Henry Jekyll, Geronimo. Yeah, I didn't actually summon Boudica, not because I don't want to, because there were too many servants that were given, so it was hard to notice or can you identify which is the 5-star servant? Now, if there's some people who are asking, why did you choose Arthur and Pendragon and you didn't put them in front? Well, in case if the enemies are servants, then yes, I could use them. But if they're not servants, then it's, well, a trivial battle.
ホーグ展開します。やー倒れて。
いおりに帰ったら飯でも作ってくれればいい。そいつでロハにしてやら。
Okay, so if in case the next one is wyverns, huh? Yeah, I don't mind choosing Senju Muramasa always because at first, after all, who is the protagonist who we saw in Fate's Day Night? Miyashiro. And after episode 1 and with episode 2, we encounter Saber. Of course, when you start Fate Grand Order, the Fuyuki one, you know, the First Order movie, of course, Mash Killer Red is there. And also, she is the first servant who is actually contracted with Fujimaru Ritsuka.
いやもう仕方ねえ。七度ばかりぶった切るか。
So, you wanna use other servants that's not Mash?
いいですね。了解です。
It's probably
出番か。
plain boring.
取った。
行くぜ。
Unless there are some events or story where Mash Killer Red cannot be chosen, or like in the story, how she is separated from us. That's where we cannot use her. Or maybe that moment in the Grand Temple of Khan Solomon. Great. It's a mixing of, if it's not French soldiers, maybe zombies and wyverns. Or maybe wyverns and werewolves? Oh, I was wrong.
行きます。
It's zombies
先輩。
and wyverns.
出番か。
いいですね。はい。
一つ二つ。
See?
はい、了解です。ふっふっまだ倒れて。
おう出番。おう行くぜ。打ち直す。この一組で仕事をする。
見事な采配です先輩。
Of course, I could go with how the prequel one, but unfortunately, I don't see anyone always using
ようこそダヴィンチちゃんの今
any
日
assassin, so I would rather go with the other one. And who is it that I'm referring to? Maybe try, as I was saying, maybe try Waver Velvet, Shuge Liang. Okay, this time there's still no servants yet, and hello, it's an NPC, John. But then I already knew that if I use her Nova Phantasm, there's some limits to how I can use, so... Huh. Even though part of me is a little angry and
戦いであれば蹴散らすのみです。
unable to accept the fact, but at least the main goal for me is to try and show how far I can actually clear this singularity without being held back, without trying to wait for which takes and I can clear this without having to, you know, depending on too many strong servants, because it's not easy to get servants, especially the 4-star or the 5-star ones. Some are lucky, some are unlucky. And I know how it feels to be unlucky. I mean, I remember when I tried and get me Archer Pendragon Lancer last year, and how I failed, I really felt bitter. But after 1 year, I finally got my Archer Lancer, so it's pretty much an even score.
この明かりは星の希望。地を照らす命の証。見るがいい。エクスカリバー。
Maybe it's a revenge roll, maybe it's my second chance to get Archery Lancer,
見事な
but
采配で
hey,
す。
at least I already done it, rather than not rolling at all. And plus, she is story locked, so it is great. Because who knows if I actually didn't roll for her and almost choose Mordred, maybe Andromeda, maybe Jack the Ripper. La Charite. I do not want to try and show off and saying, hey, I'm even luckier. The only lucky for me
視
was
力
on
を尽くして
my
来るがいい
main account in the JPay server that I've rolled for 11
シールドエ
servers.
フェクト発揮しま
Even
す
though I don't want to try and brag and say I'm lucky on that year, because that
では
was
報酬
then.
お
But
任
now
せいいですね
is really hard. You try and look for more 5-star servants, limited ones, for and do you think it's easy? No. Even the cost of rolling for 180 Saint quartz, or even almost a lot,
オーセロ
偽装登録
makes
いけ
you
ます
cannot roll
ホー
for
グ
almost
展
half
開
a
しま
year.
す
So I'm not on the side to say lucky. I understand people who are unlucky,
計略
people
だ
who are bitter, people who are saying, I want to re-roll. I want to get me a better servant rather than this one. I get it,
オーセロ
了解です
but
無駄
it's
だ
better to just
無駄だ
accept your account as it is. At least you learn from your lesson that if you're not too tempted or too greedy, and if you can save up quite a lot, like say 90 days, or maybe twice amount of that, try saving until half a year.
行きます
オーセロ
If you can
そ
actually
れが
save up that amount,
あなたの決断であれ
tolerance and patience is rewarded. But as long as you don't
この明かりの星の希望死を照らす命の証見るがいい X カイマ
as I was saying, as long as you don't
ー騎士の誓いは破れない
forget the opportunity to super ascension your don't spend it on a 1, 2, or a 3-star servant. You'll regret it. But on a 4-star, especially if they're powerful, I can't actually advise you not to. But on a 5-star, you have to ascend that servant. I mean, like how I just did for Arturia Pendragon, it was a must. It was a must for her. For Mordred, maybe. I mean, if there are people who prefer the Apocrypha story, which I like too, because that was the only one where so many servants are fighting, but there are two factions, two sides. The
視
red
力を尽くして
faction
来る
and
が
the
いい
black faction. Now that is the most unique Holy Grail war I have
シー
ever
ルドエ
seen.
フェクト発揮します
They team up, they have to defeat the enemy side,
では報
and
酬
then they will try and kill each other until one
いい
servant
いいですね
is, you know, left standing.
取ったまだまだ風よ舞い上がれ
Red Order story, of course, with Fujimaru Ritsuka, along with Mashikile, right? The Shielder servant, or the Demi servant.
オーソン
She doesn't actually
Wanna-
say just to win. She is trying to
計略
help
だ
restoring the singularity,
無駄だ
trying to
簡単
recover
すぎ
the
る
Holy Grail to make sure that the 7 singularities do not cause the incineration of humanity.
ツオーセロ
はい
と罠
There are other servants who don't want to relinquish their Holy Grail because they want their wish to be fulfilled. Now, I don't know much, for example,
行きます
つまら
はい
ん
や
if he has the Holy Grail, what did he wish
ーや
for? If the servant hold on. If the servant from the Septem Singularity has the Holy Grail,
ーお任せよ
what would
は
they
い
wish for? Even I do not know.
取った
Same goes for the Okeano Singularity. Who has the Holy Grail? What would they wish for? And same goes for the London servant.
前例を見せる
What would they wish for?
物理で殴るだけ
What
そ
would
れ
they
が
want with the
い
Holy
いですね
Grail that they have to try and causing the human
これ
order
ぞ
to
大軍師の究
be
極
wrecked.
陣地帰らずの地破ってみせるがいい
I mean, of course, if the Holy Grail is indeed a wish-granting object, then yes.
この
But
明かりの
after
星の希望
witnessing
死を照らす命の証見るがいい X カイマー
Fate Stay Night,
平
Fate
坦は保ってい
Zero,
ますか？それは結構。
or even the Heavens Feel. I did not expect that wish granting object was also at the same time a cursed object, causing almost all parts of Fuyuki to be engulfed in flames, or the birth of evil, Angramanyu. Uh-oh. This is where a servant is needed. Luckily, I have our Triumphant Dragon with me. Let's see. Vlad the Third. Vlad the Third. Yeah, don't worry. If Kufulin lost, then Arturia can actually handle it. If I know from the order of, say, Orleans, Septem, Okeanos, London, and E Pluribus Inum,
戦闘
I'd say London
な
to
る
E
べくは
Pluribus
避けたい
Inum is
行
a
為
little hard,
仕方あるまい
which you can't continue without a 4 or 5 star servant.
ステータス
That's why
頑張り
the
ます。
tutorial role is
じ
essential.
ゃあまあぶちかますかね
Player must actually concentrate with 1 or maybe 2 servants that they have already received.
では報酬食う
了解。はい。了解で
But
す。
once Camelot starts,
まだ
is
倒れて。
我は闇にあって闇に思想に預かるとしよ
a difficult singularity to clear. One cannot actually clear it with
行きます。
only the 3 star
One
or
of-
4 star servants. Maybe a lot of content is needed.
屍を積み上げお宅の伝承とて
Isn't just some of the servants that are appearing there at first.
行くぜ
But I can't
Akasana!
really mention a servant that's in Camelot that's a little dangerous.
何今の全
Maybe
力
because I don't want to spoil some players who are hearing this, or I don't want them to actually be too obsessed. So if one actually has an archer class servant, then yes, focus on many archer servants, or maybe a berserker servant. Saber is great, but make sure that saber has a special trait. Maybe a single target, maybe has more extra hits. If not, then you would automatically unable to progress. Of course, you can use a command spell. Use them all to continue. However, I don't know if the battle can help you if you don't actually have a 5-star servant. And same goes if all of Camelot's boss battles are cleared. Of course, if you can clear it fast without using command spell, then yes, that's a solid servant that you have. But if you
戦闘
use your command spell
な
as
る
you
べくは避けたい
continue,
行為だが仕方あるまい食う
even though you can't really prove or break
で
your
は
record,
報酬食う
it's really quite normal for
任せな
rookie players to experience that. Of course,
無様ね。
I'm already a veteran player.
いただ
I
くわ。
already played Fate Grand Order for like 7+ years. Try and count almost 8 once it's already November for the JP version.
つまらん
了解です。
After all, I played this JP version
One
in
of-
the beginning.
無
I
駄
don't
だ
know anything about the Fate Grand Order English version, but after I have already
捉えた。
played it myself a couple
死
of
に
years
なさ
ago,
い。
and I
いた
started
だくわ。
last year making the guide account as myself. Of course, I have to try and read the story, try to play slow so that I don't actually leave a bad example of how I progressed so far, because I never really do any recording with commentary like this.
行くぜ。
つまらんな。
I know some
Why
players
not?
just, do no comments at all and just play silently and just
なんとかなりました
record
ね。
with no comments, no advice given. I know there's some players who are like that back then. Maybe like what? In 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and then there were those who are in 2021 onwards have decided to give it a try, make a new account, or start the game for the first time and, you know, do a commentary. Just like how some of those, you know, commentary, Michael Cole, Brad Barrett, or even Corey Graves from WWE.
Oh, かかってきな。
I don't know if they have ever faced against wyverns or
野
dragons.
球を入れる
はい。
か。行くぜ。おう。行くぜ。で、下がってな。任せな。しっ。
まだ。
行くぜ。任せな。しっ。
And I know I adjusted the BGM setting to 1 to make sure that my comment can actually be recorded and be heard loud and clear. If not, it might be a little annoying
了解します。
if it's too loud and I try and explain and it's not well heard. I don't know how people can actually edit their video and make sure that their comment is well heard and not too loud. Well, the music isn't as too loud either.
はい。
任せな。おう。
I don't know any of the advanced editing video.
しっかり見たぜ。行く。任せな。鍛造無限のごとく。真髄解明、完成理念収束、鍛造技法臨界、メイドの土産に拝みやがれ。これが俺のつむかり村正だ。いおりに帰ったら飯でも作ってくれればいい。そいつでロハにしてやら。
Okay, so it's been 30 minutes since I started the video and explaining and choosing wisely on who is the 5-star servant that I decided to super ascension and start this speed run. Okay, so only 2 servants that I fought, and yet I haven't actually defeat them until they vanish from their feet to the top of their head.
始めましょう。マスター。ステータ
It's like to them,
ス頑張り
it's
ます。
only a warm up.
下がってな。
いいですね。
おう。一つ、二つ。お
いいですね。はい。取った。まだまだ。 風よ舞い上がれ。行きます。
おう
了解です。
行くぜ。出番か。
いいですね。
おう
新米、
出番か。
位相登録いけます。宝具展開します。
行くぜ。
Now I can wipe them all away.
前例を見せる。逃がしはしない。
投影開始。しっかり見たぜ。
これは人類を守る戦いである。
下がってな。
この明かりは星の希望、死を照らす命の証。決着をつけるぞ。エクステカリバー。戦闘終了。なんとかなりましたね。
Oh, Sasaki Kojiro. Uh-oh. One thing after another. Wow! 5 sections of Singularity or Lens I've cleared.
「一気火星に滅ぼしてくれよ。やるぞマスター。
シールドエフェクト発揮します。
ではこうし
Now, imagine if you don't actually equip a craft essence to your servant. Imagine, they would actually have to try and attack the enemy from scratch. For example, if I actually choose Buster, there is no percentage of an NP increasing. However, if I choose Quick or Arts, then it would increase.
お任せよ。
Oh, just 1%.
了解です。行きます。やー！
罠。
お任せよ。はい、いいですね。せい！
Whoa.
前例を見せる。決着をつけましょう。いけます。宝具展開します。束ねる星の息吹、輝ける命の本流。いけるがいい。エクステカリバー。見事な采配です、先輩。
Now there are maybe players who trying to show how fast they can clear it. Maybe there's like a time record setting, or maybe just use berserkers and just wipe the field clean. I know there's those who do that, which I'm not gonna try and say is that horrible or it's not really a great idea. Well, it depends. It depends. If the enemy is easy, then maybe it's fast for them to do. But if the enemy is hard, like say a saber class with a special trait, or say a ruler class, and you don't actually have any Avengers other than you need to borrow from a friend, then yes, that would make the battle a little longer, and that's not really good.
一気火星に滅ぼしてくれよ。やる
If you
ぞ
have an Avenger
マスター。
class, you have to make sure that they are at their strongest so that you can actually defeat the enemy ruler class easy.
はい。
つまらん。
Servants that are non-berserker class, non-Avengers, will have a long battle trying to defeat this ruler class. Unless they have a specific trait, like Jack the Ripper, which can actually kill them if they be female. Or can actually stun them if they happen to be a divine spirit trait. But if that ruler class servant is a
仰
normal,
せのつまらん。
well,
計略
probably
だ。
the one weak to enemy damage.
無駄だ。
But the player actually has
簡単
good
すぎる。
to summon Gilgamesh easy. Even Albert Ko once admit when he try and summon Gilgamesh, he had to spend a lot, like a
仰せのとおり。
lot before the guaranteeing summon, you know, pity system of 900 Saint Quartz, or maybe 100 tickets and 600 Saint Quartz is added. Now, if that wasn't added, players would probably suffer, and most of them would probably drop out from the game.
束ねる星の息吹、輝ける命の本流、いけるがいい。エクスプレスハイバー。
見事な采配です先輩。
Hey, our Triumphant Dragon has already ascend. I mean, bond level 1. And this is essential as well. Not only do you... Oh, thanks for Medea. Not only do you need our Triumphant Dragon, your 5-star servants, if there are players out there who noticed this video, is still not bond level at all, you can actually unlock her interlude story. There's some servants who has a trait of saying, you must clear Orleans, you must clear Septem, Okeanos, London, E Pluribus Unum, Camelot, Babylonia, and Solomon, and Sennaar. So if you don't actually clear the main story, you cannot play that special interlude unless if you're already gone past further and already speed up all of those singularities, the Epic of Remnant singularities, and all 7 lost belts, and made it to Ordeal Call Prologue. Only then you can actually play an interlude even though you never have that servant, or if the servant who you already have hasn't actually ascended or haven't got their bond points. Man, I've been explaining about the conditions of how to play interludes that I didn't actually notice. I should just progress. Maybe because I'm out of topic stories. That's why I was explaining with my brain and not really scripted to make sure that
一
one
気
can
火星
actually
に滅ぼして
understand
くれ
how
よ。
interludes work.
やるぞマスター。ではではこうしよう。
シールドエフェク
Interludes
発しま
doesn't
す。
just give you
了解で
a
す。
servant side of their story,
はい。
but it also helps you
はい。
unlocking your skill, making you stronger, or giving you extra Saint Quartz if you need to save up that much for half a year, or maybe save up for 1 full year. After all, if a servant
つまらん。
doesn't
いいです
actually
ね。
了解です。
have any interludes,
計略だ。
then maybe it's better to just focus on their strengthening.
Yes!
So that their skill or their noble phantasm would be more powerful, and you can actually use them a lot more.
仰せの通り罠
Our Pendragon so far has 2 rank quests, but I can't really play that yet until Septem has already been played, so that way, not only is her skill stronger, but her noble phantasm is stronger.
全霊を見せる
I can't play one-sided. If I play one-sided, then
シェータ
there's no meaning to actually just
正面受けて
their
立つ
skill is already perfect, but it's still imperfect because I haven't progressed it through the singularity story.
物理で殴るだけの戦いじゃな
あなたの決断であればいけます
これぞ大軍師の究極陣地破ってみせるがいい
ホーグ展開します束ねる星の息吹輝ける命の本流いけるがいい FGO タイマー
犠牲が少なければそれでも勝利だ
Almost 50 minutes. Alright, this is without a doubt a servant. And just like in that version, I need to use the one servant who actually defeated her.
Master, 戦闘ですマスター指示をシールドエフェクト発揮します
And quite ironic, Mashkilerite, Arthurian Pendragon, Jun, Alter, Jun the Dark. All 3 of these servants were the main servants from the old visual 10 years ago.
了解ですはい
Sorry, I was talking about the server. For the English server, almost 9 years ago when the game was released. And people were starting to question
はい
if Mashkilerite
進
is
みます一斉の
to play at first when they started the game, you know, with Fuyuki, how can you actually have Arthur and Pendragon? Simple.
はいお
You
任せよ
just have to try and roll.
了解です
In the god.
取った
Some
まだまだ
try and play for free. Some try and play by paying real money. I don't know from where to actually get guaranteed paid Saint quartz. You know, back then.
総員突撃準備
The banner of New Year's or the banner of
構いません
anniversaries guaranteeing or start
はい
dash never
進
existed.
みます
Would past million-gallon campaigns, you know, featuring Musashi or featuring
了行きます
during the 6th anniversary.
ホーグ
That's where
展開します
players use that opportunity to either get John the Dark Ruler or Saber Archer.
Yeah.
They just have to try and use their Saint Quartz and get other servants. The limited ones, the story lock ones,
いい
the
です
permanent
お
ones,
任
which
せを
I'm not gonna try and criticize someone's hobby. Maybe they're lucky, maybe they're unlucky, or maybe they were able to summon the servant by accident. Okay, that's weird. She's not there. I don't see Martha.
お
The
構いませ
ruler
ん
class.
追え
I
る
mean,
ことはあり
the
ません
rider class.
まだまだここに祈りを捧げましょう我が友我が仲間を守らせたまえリュミノジテエテルネンヌ
And yes, this is also something we need to talk about. No noticed that when before the Ordeal Call 2 story starts for the English server, they have already updated John Dark's Noble Phantasm animation update. So of course it looks different. It looks like how the moment she raised her banner and the sky is actually clearing. Now back then,
血を照らす命の証見るがいい
screen was black. She just raised her flag and
皆さん
we
お
were
疲れ
all
様でした
protected. But of course,
で
if
も
one
油断なさら
has
ぬように
John Dark of their own and actually cleared an interlude or maybe a rank up quest. Yeah, I think it's an interlude. Then John Dark's Noble Phantasm side effect where she is stunned is negated. And that way there is no cost or are you kidding me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the 5th row of the. Alright. Now she is there.
Full 完了。行きます。ステータス。頑張ります。
はい、
了解です。
そこです。
ふっ。せい。はい、お任せよ。
了解です。
取った。
勝ち上げます。
Of course, it's not just John Dark. It's also John Dark Altar. Now, from what I remember, her
行きます。
animation
了
update
解
in the
押し切りましょう。
やー。
進みます。投げ払います。
she just commanded a lot of spikes to appear on the ground. But with the animation update,
行きます。
John Dark Altar,
まだ。
not really 3D, but looks at the front, and the moment she commands, it's almost like the position of where the enemy is in the same position as her, being staked, then burned.
前例を見せる。逃がしはしない。
Part of her that she never wants to let go, and that's why she wants the enemy to suffer the same fate as her.
偽装登録。いけます。これは人類を守る戦いである。
ついえることはありません。
決着をつけましょう。
この旗がある限り。
ホーグ、展開します。
我が旗に輝く強さを、我が戦友にきらめく心を、すべては人類のため、我らはここに立つ。
この明かりの星の希望、死を照らす命の証、見るがいい。X カリバー。祈ります。
Wow, she's
救いを。
quite strong and durable.
これが私の信じる心。いいです。お任せよ。いいですね。せい。切り上げる。風よ。舞い上がる。マスター、気をつけて。まだまだ未熟ですね。
Okay, I guess that's a wrap for now. I actually have activity that I need to go, so I'll just cut this as speedrun Orleans Part 1. So if I'm lucky to finish Orleans in Part 2, then that would be great. Search for the Dragon Slayer with 5 arrows. Who can actually clear that much in just 1 hour? I mean, Thor W have actually done it in 1 hour and 50 minutes. At least how he keeps going and going and going, but he actually can't stop the live recording due to something in real life that he needs to do. Okay, so that's gonna be it for right now. I'll try and continue once I'm done with my activity, or maybe tomorrow morning. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in part 2 of Speedrun Clearing Orleans. And remember, because this is Akiyama Ren, you know, from Kamen Rider Ryuki, my catchphrase is, 戦わなければ生き残れない. Those who do not fight do not survive.